Switch Wii U trailer. I haven't looked at it yet. I could give my thoughts on Switch 2. So maybe a weird thing to say, because I know a lot of people are so anti-Switch nowadays. I mean, definitely every company's fucking stupid, but the Switch is my favorite console of all time. Yes, you know, obviously I have a ton of memories with like the N64, the GameCube, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, obviously, all that stuff. But nothing has quite affected my life as much as the Switch, in the sense that like when I started working, like doing editing as a job, it became harder and harder to find time to actually play games. And obviously, you know, where this is going is a bit ridiculous, but I essentially became what is known as a toilet gamer, quite literally, because I've always taken long shits, and usually what I used to do was just scroll on my phone, which, let's be honest, scrolling on your phone fucking sucks, especially nowadays with how awful social media is. But when the Switch came out and I got one, it completely blew me away, because I was like, oh my God, I can play like, you know, full console quality games on the go. Obviously, you know, there are some console quality games that are on like the Vita and 3DS and stuff like that, like Xenoblade and all that. But I didn't have those games, and I didn't even have a Vita. I got a Vita later, but because of the Switch, actually, I bought a Vita. I did have a 3DS. I did play a lot of Pokemon on it, but I was broke at the time, so I only really have Pokemon. Anyway, I'm going off a tangent. The Switch blew me away. I have so many fond memories of taking a shit and playing. It's insane. Two of my favorite memories of the Switch. One of them was the first year of the Switch, when Breath of the Wild came out. This is when I was really, really poor. And I lived in just like a complete dump of a place. I remember we luckily had a porch. It was really small and smelled like shit, but we had a porch. And I vividly remember this one day where it was raining and it was very dark and lots of, you know, I don't know if you guys find rain soothing, but I do. And I was like, oh my God. And we had a busted up couch in my porch. So I went and I laid on my porch, on the couch in the porch while it was raining, and I played on my Switch. I played Breath of the Wild for like 5 hours, and it was like the most tranquil. I loved it, man. I will never forget that. I treasured that so much. It made me so happy. And then another time that I vividly remember of the Switch, this one actually does have to do with the toilet, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna the Golden Country, the expansion to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Replaying it. So I've said this before, my favorite Xenoblade game is actually the DLC for Xenoblade 2. I think the DLC for that game is like a fucking masterpiece. I love it. And I remember sitting down and I was taking one of the meanest shits of my life. Like, I'm talking, there was an imp inside scraping the rims of my anus to get out, and it was bad. But nothing, I repeat, nothing could have stopped the power of that ending, bro. I don't want to talk any spoilers, but that ending was so powerful that despite the bleeding of my anus, I just had tears coming out of my face and onto my balls, and it was just amazing. I loved it. Like, it's funny because it was a replay. It wasn't even my first time playing the game, but it had been so long since I played. I remember it was in anticipation for Xenoblade 3, and I was just, I was like, man, I probably look like the saddest sack of shit right now, just exploding diarrhea while fucking crying. But it was awesome. I will never forget that. That was so great. So yes, portable gaming is something that I find my whole life I've really loved. While I do like gaming on a television and on a monitor and all that, I think that stuff is awesome. It's awesome to see games in that full high fidelity quality. I mean, recently I've been playing Crisis Core on my PC because I've been trying a Pomodoro technique, which is like when you work for X amount of time and then you get a break for X amount of time. I've been doing that and playing Crisis Core during my breaks, and my God, that game looks insane on PC. But yeah, I love that, and I think it's great. But really, to me, the moments I enjoy the most are playing portably in my bed, laying around, just lounging, relaxing. Someday in the future, one of my dreams, as shallow as it is to play a video game either on my Switch or on my Steam Deck while in a pool or a jacuzzi or something, just like with my feet in the water. I don't know. That sounds so nice to me, and I really want to do that one day. So yes, the Switch is my favorite console of all time. I absolutely love it. However, in recent years, there have been so many rumors about a Switch Pro. I remember one of the distinct ones being that it was at, I think, CES like a year or two ago, there were people leaking that the Matrix demo, the Matrix UE5 demo, was running on a Switch Pro or something. And I remember reading all this and I just didn't care. I didn't give a fuck. I never really cared about the idea of a Switch Pro. And I also don't really care about the idea, like hardware doesn't really excite me as much as software does. So that stuff never got me excited. That stuff never got me to care. But what really made me start that desire for a Switch 2 was very recently, honestly. I would say maybe mid last year, something like that. I can't remember what game I had played, but I was playing a game and I went to the home menu and I saw in my games list Animal Crossing New Horizons. All these memories of Animal Crossing GameCube and Animal Crossing Wild World and New Horizons all just flooded into my head. And I was like, oh my God, I miss playing Animal Crossing. I want a new Animal Crossing. So thankfully I had web fishing to kind of tide me over, but I wanted to emulate Animal Crossing GameCube on my Steam Deck. I didn't end up going through with it because I was like, oh, it's going to take a lot of time of like my life out. But I really wanted to do that. And I was like, you know what? I really want a new Animal Crossing. But if I get a new Animal Crossing, I'd want it to be on a Switch 2. And then the idea of a Switch 2 started to like really creep into my head. I want so many new games and they would be on a Switch 2. So it's not necessarily the Switch 2 itself that I'm excited about. It's the games. And I am aware if you saw for Nintendo, for the original Nintendo Switch, they announced the Switch 2 hardware first and then the games later. They did a separate presentation for the games. So I'm not expecting to see any games in this. Maybe we'll see a game on like a television, because I remember in the original Switch presentation, I think it was Breath of the Wild they had playing on a TV. And then I remember a shot of like, there was like, I think it was like esports players sitting down and playing Splatoon 2 on tabletop mode. I think that was it was just like an offhand footage type thing. Maybe that's how we'll see a couple games revealed here, but I'm mostly expecting it to just show the console itself. I will say, I'm sure many of you have already either watched it or seen the leaks, all that stuff. It's impossible, it feels, to avoid leaks, unfortunately, nowadays. I'm trying to avoid as many of them as possible, but unfortunately, I have seen quite a lot of leaks for the Switch 2. So I guess, since I'm assuming, because I'm going to post this on my secondary channel, I'm assuming, well, first of all, if you just want to watch the reaction, just skip to it. It's either in the chapters or timestamps in the description, or if you're watching this live, yeah, I'm assuming you've already watched the trailer, or you knew a bunch of the leaks. So if you haven't seen the trailer or you don't know any of the leaks, I guess maybe skip ahead. But the stuff that I am aware of for the Switch 2 is that the screen is apparently bigger. It has DLSS, and the right Joy-Con, I think, has an optical sensor that you can use as a mouse, which is actually kind of hype for Splatoon. I'm going to be honest. One of my biggest things with Splatoon is I suck at motion controls, and I suck with a controller, but I'm pretty damn good with a mouse. So I was like, oh shit, maybe I can kill some kids in Splatoon 2, or Splatoon 4, whatever. That sounded horrible. Whatever. Yeah. So that's basically the extent of what I know about the Switch 2. I don't really know anything else about it, assuming that those leaks were real. This will be my first look at it pretty much entirely. As far as games, like I said, I'm not expecting to see anything. Maybe we'll see like some game off the side. It'll probably be, just throwing predictions out there, I'm gonna guess, let's see, what did they show in the original Switch trailer? They showed Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, and I think Skyrim, right? I think those are the 4 games. So let's pick 4 games that will be on here to show off the game. I think there will definitely be a new 3D Mario instead of Mario Odyssey, because we never got an Odyssey 2. and Mario Odyssey is super old. So I'm gonna guess new 3D Mario, and then what they had Breath of the Wild. I don't think we're getting a new Zelda. So what does Nintendo have that would be open world? I can't think of anything. No, I think you have to announce. I was thinking in my head because I know that Monolith Soft, the guys behind Xenoblade, are making a new IP, but I think they would want to announce that as a formal trailer, not as like a off the side type thing. Let's just say Metroid Prime 4. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I feel like that's a pretty easy one to show. And then what was the third game? It was Splatoon 2, right? So multiplayer. I don't think we're gonna see Splatoon 4 because Splatoon 3 is pretty recent, and I know that the team that makes Splatoon also makes Animal Crossing. It could be Animal Crossing. Okay, it's either going to be Animal Crossing, like a new Animal Crossing as the multiplayer game, or Smash Ultimate Deluxe. This is an idea I floated around on stream for like 2 years now, which I'll detail further in like another time. But essentially, I think they're going to do a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with Smash Ultimate. It could be Smash Ultimate Deluxe, either that or Animal Crossing. And then the fourth game, they showed Skyrim for Switch. What's a big third-party game? It has to be a third-party game that's been out for a long time that would catch a lot of people off guard and would make people go like, oh shit, that's running on a portable console. Because that's what Skyrim did. I remember when I saw Skyrim in that trailer, I was like, what the fuck, Skyrim on this shit? Now it's like, of course Skyrim's on that. Okay, I'm gonna say it's either Cyberpunk 2077. That's that sounds really crazy, but I'm gonna say it's either Cyberpunk 2077 because that's a really mainstream game that would probably surprise people, or this one. This is just personal wish. Final Fantasy VII Remake. One of those two. So that'll be the third party game. But yeah, that's where my brain's at. Let's watch it. Let's see what's in this. All right, I'm excited for this. Now again, I kind of don't really care about the Switch features. Like, bro, okay, one last thing I'll say. Baldur's Gate 3 is a good one. That's a good guess, Ravi. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great guess. I think that it kind of surprises me how many people care about 4K gaming. I saw a poll the other day where IGN was like, what is the most anticipated Switch feature that you have? And the most voted one was 4K. I was like, really? I don't really give a fuck about 4K gaming. I'm gonna be honest. To be honest, I would just like 60 FPS. It could even be 720p. I don't really give a fuck. Mostly because I play portable 99% of the time anyway. And on, I know that sounds really crazy, but on a screen so small, it shouldn't matter that much to be like higher than 720p. But 1440, yeah, okay, yeah, I do agree with that. Like, so my monitor, like full transparency, both my monitors here are 1440p and they look fucking crisp, bro. And I feel like with the 50 series cards coming out, like graphics cards getting more and more expensive, bro. Like maybe I have to game on a 4K monitor with like a rig that's capable of it to really see what people are seeing with this. But like, I just have a hard time imagining like needing something that looks better than what I'm seeing, right? I have a 3080 Ti and a 1440p monitor. Like, bro, fucking Crisis Core, which I know is not even like the craziest looking game, like literally blew my mind visually. I was like, oh my god, this looks insane. So I don't know. Yeah, but I've never really been that big of a graphics guy. I'm more of a frame rate guy. I can deal with 30 FPS as long as it's stable, which, oh, I didn't even bring that up. When I was talking about like wanting a Switch 2, the game that really made me want to Switch 2 was Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Loved it. It was great. That game really chugs in a lot of areas. I swear it was like 15 FPS. I was like, yo, this is rough. This is rough. Let's watch this. Let's watch this. White noise. Thanks, Nintendo. That's a Nintendo Switch. Okay, I feel like I'm watching an Apple trailer right now, like an Apple iPhone trailer. Wait, it has 2 USB-C ports? What the fuck? Oh, this is loud for me. I'm gonna turn that down. Oh, I'm glad they made them bigger. These things are so small. Ew, that was nasty. This trailer is fucking weird. I literally feel like I'm watching an iPhone trailer. This feels like the most not Nintendo trailer I've ever seen in my life, bro. Okay, but this console is very sexy, I can't even lie. Bro, that logo is ass. I've been thinking this for a while, because like the logo leaked a while ago. Oh, new Mario Kart. Okay. Or is this Mario Kart 8? I can't remember. I haven't played Mario Kart in a long time. I wonder if they're gonna have Mario Kart be like 2025. That's it? Really? Plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. Is that actually it? Oh! Nintendo Direct and Nintendo Switch April. Oh, that's so far away. Unless this is, excuse me, is this Europe? Do we know if this is April 2nd or February 4th? Is that actually it? Series of hands-on events around the world. Wow, that was like the most Apple trailer I've ever seen in my life. That was fucking lame, I'm gonna be honest. This is April? Okay. Logo is so silly. Etsy, yeah, the logo fucking sucks. I want to know the price more than anything. April 2nd. Yeah, me too. I want to know the price as well. Nintendo Switch. Yes, the Nintendo Switch trailer was so much better than that. Yeah, you know what? Here's one thing I'll say. I was talking to one of my friends just before I went live here about Nintendo and its console history. Here's the thing. Even though I really want a Switch 2 and I am really excited for the Switch 2, I think it's going to be one of the most boring console releases that Nintendo has ever done. And I'm not saying that in the sense that I think the console is going to be ass. I actually think this is probably going to be their best console ever. It's more so that, like, when I think historically about consoles, like console releases, you know, PlayStation, Sega, well, Sega are like the kings of this shit, so never mind. But PlayStation, Microsoft, or I guess Xbox and Nintendo, like, who has the coolest consoles between the three, you know? It's Nintendo, and the reason is they are way more creative with their consoles, in my opinion, than the Xbox and the PlayStation. Because what's the difference with all the Xboxes and all the PlayStations, right? It's the graphical leap in each of them. But with Nintendo, they try and do something different with each console, that it either falls flat on its face, or it's just the most brilliant fucking coolest thing ever. Whether it's like the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo Wii, the Wii U, the GameCube, the N64 really was probably the only one that was more about graphics power than anything else. The GameCube to an extent, but they always try and do something really weird and cool with every console. Even the Switch, you know, introducing a brand new concept, and within that new concept, releasing the Labo, which I still think Labo is cool as fuck, as weird as that is. I will always be more of a champion of new, interesting, and strange ideas over, again, I'm not saying iteration is bad. I like I said, I think the Switch 2 is probably gonna be the best console Nintendo's ever made, but it's just a lot more boring than seeing, like, you know, something fucking weird. I just like seeing all that weird stuff. That's really what I love. You know, I think consoles like the Nintendo DS, and what developers both in and outside of Nintendo have come up with for that console is some of the coolest things in all of gaming. I love that kind of stuff. Should have called the Nintendo Switch on. I would have liked Super Nintendo Switch, just to call back to the old like Super NES and all that. But It'd probably be confusing for parents and stuff like that. Nintendo Switch Mewtwo Strikes Back. That would fucking rule. That would rule. The new Nintendo. No, that is the worst. I hate when they do that and they're like, here's the new Nintendo DS or whatever. Bro, usually I agree, but not with the Switch, with how terrible the games ran. I don't blame you with how the games ran. I completely can concede that thought, but I still think the Switch is a way cooler console than the PS4 and the PS5. I think it's a way cooler console than the Xbox One or the Series SX. That whole concept completely changed the industry. Even the Wii completely changed the industry. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's less about how the software ran and more about like the concepts, like the ideas behind the consoles that I really like get behind, where I'm like, that's fucking cool. That's awesome. 3DS is sort of similar, but the 3D stuff was the odd part of it. Yeah. And like I said, not everything Nintendo does lands, but I like that they're willing to try it. You know what I mean? Like the 3DS, I think, all the DSs are just brilliant fucking consoles with brilliant video games on them. The 3D is weird. But like, oh my God, like booting a 3DS and like seeing, I'm trying to see where if my 3DS is by me. I don't think it is. And like seeing like your home menu, right? The theme and all that. Oh my God, bring back themes on the Switch too, by the way. We have the most boring fucking home screen on the Switch, man. Please don't do that again with Switch 2. Very whimsical or magical feeling to them. Exactly. Yeah, it's just, it's like a fun, cool thing that Nintendo always had. And while I think it is the right decision to iterate on the Switch, I can't help but feel like, man, it's kind of a shame that we're probably never going to see that again from Nintendo, because they kind of hit it out the park. Like, if you want me to be completely real with you, and I don't know if this is like a wild take or anything, but I feel like the Switch was so revolutionary in the gaming industry for casual audiences that I almost believe that the PlayStation 6 and whatever the new Xbox is called is either going to be a portable console or a hybrid console, I should say, not portable. Is either going to be a hybrid console, or they're going to introduce new SKUs to go along with their main console. Like, I think we could see a new PSP. I think we could see an Xbox portable, just because the Nintendo Switch completely changed the whole vibe of things. And consoles like the Steam Deck, you know, to me are like heaven. You know, I love the Steam Deck, bro. One of the best consoles ever made. Super cool. And I just love seeing it. I want more of these wild portable things. 3DS library is so insane. It is, yes, the 3DS library, I genuinely believe, again, maybe crazy fucking take, but I think the 3DS has one of the greatest libraries in all of gaming. Obviously the PS2 is the king, right? But 3DS is up there, I think. 3DS is up there, bro. Really insane library. Bring themes, achievements, and music to the shop, please. I hope they fucking update the eShop, by the way. That laggy fucking piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, please update the eShop. But I agree, man. I really want themes and music and all that. It's so fun to, like, one of my favorite videos I've ever watched online is a video by Scott the Woz on his secondary channel, Scott's Stash. I think it was just called Browsing the Wii Shop. And it's literally just that. He's just browsing the Wii Shop. And I was like, oh, I got so nostalgic thinking back to like when I would come home from, I think it was middle school. And I would just open the Wii Shop and just dun 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 dun. That's not the Wii song, but whatever. I would just, you know, have some banger ass song playing and just browsing. It was so nice. It's so nice. I miss it. I miss it. I want that back. You know, I want that back. Like, this trailer is pretty telling. It's so boring. I'm sure the games will be fun, but the actual hardware UI, I doubt. Yes, that's exactly what I think. I think the console is going to be excellent, but it's just, you know, it's just a Switch, but stronger. Switch 2 or AI fleshlight. You know how crazy that is? Dude, what if that's what the next Labo is? The Nintendo Labo pussy. And you got little Timmy's got the fishing one. Your wife is playing on the piano Labo, but you have the fleshlight Labo. You're back there, you're putting in work.
Princess Peach, you're mine tonight.
People would be fucking all over that bitch. Bowsette. Oh, it'd be bad. It'd be bad. Super Smash Bros. Hitting different. You know they put VR in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm not even kidding. There's actually a VR mode, bro. That VR mode would have a whole new meaning with Fleshlight Labo.